have whatever I want to eat whenever I want, and to have that in moderation. So if I can do that, then why would I have to go and binge an entire box of Oreos? Good morning, everyone. It is a Wednesday. It's just 5 minutes to 6. I've been up since 5 a.m. I just woke up to journal, drink some water, and just have an hour to myself before I actually have to get up and get ready and go to the gym. So I'm working from home today. Could have slept in, but I'm trying to make an effort every now and then just to wake up earlier than I actually have to and use that time to journal, as opposed to having to do my morning routine and rush. And already I feel really good. I feel really great, really positive, and just ready to tackle the day. Just having my coffee. I'm gonna make myself a couple of rice cakes and peanut butter because I'm gonna go to the gym and I want the energy. Wanted to update you guys today on my relationship with food, my nutrition, my binge eating update, because I haven't really spoken about it much. Rice cakes and peanut butter. So I mentioned that I had decided to start tracking some of my food again. And I just want to make it really clear that I am committed 100% to not eating restrictively. The place that I was coming from is that since I started my binge eating recovery journey in about July this year, it's been maybe about 3 or 4 months, and I feel like I'm at a place definitely where I've stopped the binge eating cycle. I've stopped the Monday to Friday eating whatever I want and just, you know, falling into that trap of eating clean and eating shit, right? And at the same time, I've gotten back into the gym since lockdown, and I have been doing pole for 3 years. And if you're an aerialist or a gymnast, it is a known fact. And my physio has talked about it as well, and she's also mentioned this herself, that it is so much easier to lift your entire body weight up and do all these different tricks and things like that when you have less body fat, you know, less body fat and more muscle. And that's a place that I'm coming from, and my goal with my nutrition. I would really like to reduce my body fat because it's easier for me to get a lot of the tricks when I'm lighter off the pole. Then that goes to the next part of, have I been tracking? Since I said I was going to track, I actually haven't been tracking 100% the entire day. So I'll try and track most of my meals, so like breakfast and like whatever food I prepare, I'll track, but I still allow myself to go out. Sometimes I'll get food from outside. Like last night I went to a burger place, and obviously I didn't track that. I still go to parties, like we've had some Christmas parties and social events, and I'll allow myself to eat whatever. To be honest, I haven't been tracking every single day since then. There have been weeks where I just haven't at all. But to be able to reach a point where I can track, even if it's just breakfast, and not feel like in a restrictive mindset like I did in the past when I used to track, and it's just shown how much growth that's been for me. Now I'm viewing food as, okay, you know, it's something that we need to sustain ourselves, but as I'm getting more into this fitness journey, I'm able to see it as a way of just a means to achieving a goal. Like food, like what it is to bodybuilders and people in the fitness industry, like to be able to reach that point where I'm detached. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm detached from the meaning and control that food has over me, where I am now able to manipulate it in a way that I can reach my physique and function goals without it being so freaking deep, and still allow myself to enjoy food, go out, and not have to think about it. That's where I am. Ooh. It's 6:45, and normally I would be, if I was working from home, I'd be getting to the gym at like 7:30, but really getting up earlier has really helped me have more time so I can actually vlog. Anyways, that's not the point of what I was gonna say. I wanted to also discuss, right, so I was a little bit reluctant, and I honestly felt quite bad, and I didn't want to tell you guys that I was sort of tracking my food, like I have been on and off since, I want to say, end of October, November. And the reason why I felt bad, which now I'm trying to reach a point where I don't feel like I have to continuously justify everything that I do to this audience, aka this internal conscious voice in my head constantly running that has pretty much started ever since I've started my YouTube channel, just in life. I think when you're putting yourself out there, I felt bad because being in the ED recovery community, tracking is like the devil. It's a no. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And in my binge eating recovery tips video, I did say that I don't recommend it when you're starting a recovery journey. And I still stand by that. That's what I didn't do. I completely ate intuitively and did not track at all. But I also did mention that I don't have anything against it, and it's something that I would probably do to reach my fitness goals. And also in saying that, I feel like it's okay to change your mind about things when you gather more information, when you come to a certain point, and that raises a whole other thing about cancel culture, which I don't particularly agree with, in a sense of we're being held hostage for opinions that we might have had years or months ago when the circumstances were different, and I don't know, there just needs to be a lot of nuance about certain things. And that's how I feel about tracking. And again, I'm doing the thing that I said that I don't want to do, which is justifying myself, but you know, this is a food about my relationship with food. So I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna do my upper body routine, and throughout the day I'll talk to you guys more about the tips and things and how I've been able to reach that point just overall in my journey, just for an update. So let's go gym.
Think fast, my heart rate starts to rise. Stand still, my mind getting paralyzed. So much, I just can't take it.
So I'm gonna quickly take Obi to the park for a quick walk, do some headstands.
Old news, and now I'm feeling new.
Okay, we are back and I have Obi. Yes, it was a need to seek external validation in other people, in what society was telling me. And I feel like the whole journey and recovery process so far has understanding that I don't have to seek external validation in other people. I need to stop comparing myself to other people, stop looking at my friends and how they were eating and looking at their bodies, and then understanding that we're all different. We all have different genetic makeup, different environmental factors, different medication that we're on, our bodies respond to things differently. And I was comparing myself to, like, at that time, I'd been poling for 3 years, I was gaining muscle. I have a naturally muscular build. It's very easy for me to put on weight, to gain weight, and then, to gain muscle, whereas other people had really fast metabolisms and they couldn't gain weight at all. Understanding that it all begins and ends with your mind, and it comes, like, everything is so rooted deeply in self-love. So once I put that focus, and all the other tips that I mentioned in my video, like I was eating intuitively, I wasn't tracking my calories at all. I stopped the all or nothing mindset. I allowed myself to have those cravings, and I honored those cravings. Like, for example, yesterday I went out with my friends and I had some burgers and chips and stuff. And usually that for me would be associated with a weekend, like a weekend cheat meal or whatever, but allowing myself to have that during the week. And basically I was telling myself that I can have whatever I want to eat whenever I want, and to have that in moderation. So if I can do that, then why would I have to go and binge an entire box of Oreos if I can just have a couple of Oreos and be satisfied? So yeah, listening to my hunger cues and all those tips really helped me. And now that I'm on, I guess, the end, I feel like I want to say that I am recovered, but it's still been too soon. I know with a lot of people, they say that the recovery is at a year. I haven't stopped overeating or anything like that. There have been times where I've been stressed, like the interview process of my new job, I was overeating a little bit, but I haven't fallen into that binge eating mindset, that cycle, that very, very destructive cycle. Now I'm trying to focus more on personal development, reading a lot of books. You guys have to read The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. But it's really helping me, and just focusing on my mindset and understanding I need to focus and be the change that I want to see. So practicing my affirmations, I'm telling myself, what would it be like to be the type of person that is able to be so detached from food that they see it as a tool, for physique or fitness, that food doesn't control them. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself to be. Another part of that for me, that I'm using food and preparing my own food, is I'm planning to move out and buy my own property soon. And when you move out, you start cooking and preparing all of your meals, and you don't eat whatever's at home. So that's something that I have been trying to do, preparing my own meals, not just for like, you know, fitness wise, but I'm trying to manifest that, I guess, and to manifest that I need to focus on what would a person that moves out and is independent, what would they do? They would cook there and prepare their own meals. Now, I still eat at home, and, you know, some meals that my mum cooks I'll make, but I have been, you know, preparing some of my own lunches and dinners here and there, and that's kind of separate to the binge eating journey. I don't know why I wanted to mention that, but I guess in framing it for binge eating, if you want to stop binge eating, of course there are all the things that, you know, the self-worth, the struggles, all the, like, the ego self, all the things, the destructive and intrusive thoughts. But instead of focusing on that, what if you focus on the good? Focus on how would it feel to be detached from food? How would it feel to allow yourself to enjoy food, to eat in moderation, to eat intuitively and not let food have control over you? How would it feel to be like that? And tap into that and try and feel that feeling. For me, I would, you know, write down in my journal, you know, what does it mean to be able to prepare my own food without being restrictive and having it control me? For me, I was writing, it feels like freedom. It feels like independence. It feels like being the change that I wish to see in myself. So hope that helped. I am gonna do a quick headstand and then I'll go back to work.
Deep breath, I'm jumping off the high dive. Can't find the words that I'm trying to say. Killing me speechless anyway. And I feel so vulnerable.
Hello, it is Friday. Oh no, it's not even Friday, it's Saturday. I recorded those clips on Wednesday and I still just want to wrap up and finish what I was talking about. And something that I wanted to touch on was the concept of being neutral. And that's the place that I'm now aiming to get when it comes to food, health, fitness. With the ED recovery community in particular, they talk about how, you know, all food is food, there's no good or bad food. I agree with that, and I think that's an example of the idea of neutrality, and that's what we should be applying to things like tracking food and, you know, people that go to the gym because they want to achieve certain physique goals, and even weighing yourself. I agree that so many things can be triggering, but in a way, if you avoid them because you think that they're triggering you, then you're still giving it some power because you believe that it can affect you. And that's definitely how I felt initially in my recovery journey, to be safe. And I think when you're completely starting a recovery journey, as I mentioned, it's a really great idea to just stay clear from those things. For me now, after being on the journey, I'm slowly introducing things like weighing myself, tracking my food. When I'm tracking my food, I'm not doing it properly at all. I don't track from morning till night. I'll track maybe like 2 meals. Sometimes I'll track breakfast and then the rest of the day I just ate whatever. Last night, for example, it was my last Friday at work, so we had some pizza, I had a couple of drinks, and then when I went home I made another pizza for myself and I literally ate like the entire pizza. And I didn't feel bad about it. Obviously I'm not going to track that, but I still allow myself the space and the room to eat what I want and also track when I feel like it, and just try to remain neutral about the whole situation. And I feel like that's the place that I'm working towards being. I'm going to end the video here. I've just been blabbering on. I hope that helps, and I hope that you got some insight out of this video. Feel free to message me anytime on Instagram if you ever want to talk about it. I'll leave all my socials down below so you can connect with me. And again, I really appreciate if you've watched all the way till the end of this video and you're going through this recovery journey. I just want to remind you that you can do this every time, every day. Every habit, every action that you take will just strengthen and reinforce it. And even if you fall off a little bit, remember that the journey and the process is never linear. Just like life, there are ebbs and flows in everything, and you can do this. Just give yourself some grace, give yourself some compassion, and you'll get there. Just believe in yourself and love yourself, even though it's really hard. I love you, so you've got someone there in your corner supporting you. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye.